Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be chatting to you about alcohol and basically my reasons for not drinking alcohol, and I suppose like my relationship with alcohol over the years. When I say this, it all sounds really dramatic and it's like, oh my gosh, why doesn't she drink? I get that reaction a lot. Like when people offer me a drink and I say I don't drink, they're like, oh, okay, we won't ask any questions, because they think maybe I was an alcoholic and things like that. I wasn't. I just made a decision based on a few things, and that's what I was going to share with you today. First things first, this video is not in any way me preaching about, oh hey, I don't drink alcohol and neither should you, at all. Like, do what you want to do, live your life. I just get questions about it quite a lot, so I thought I would share my story. So when I was younger, doing gymnastics and things like that, I always said, I'll never drink any alcohol, like it's just not for me, I'm a sportswoman. Then I went to school, and then around the age of sort of like 14, I was like, oh, Smirnoff Ice, this looks kind of cool, and you know, I was going to little house parties with friends and things like that. And then just from there, I got more into it, because that was kind of the thing to do, if I'm honest. Where I lived, you know, at that age, we didn't really go to the cinema or anything. We just sort of like hung around drinking, and that was just kind of how it was. And then as I grew up, I kind of realised that that wasn't that fun. But then I started obviously going to like pubs and clubs and things like that, and I would still drink. Drugs have never been for me, so I was always kind of the drinker of the group when we went actually like raving. And I don't know, I used to have like a really bad kind of time with it. I'd love it while I was drinking. I'd be having a whale of a time. And then I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have really bad memory loss, which now that I'm a bit older, I realise is actually really dangerous and really scary, you know, not being able to remember a chunk of your night. And I just didn't enjoy, I mean, no one enjoys a hangover, let's be honest, but I really had hangovers quite badly. I was always sick. This is really sexy, this video. And so I just had quite a bad experience with it. But I continued doing it because that's just kind of, I don't really know what the reason was. It was just life, you know. I'd go out with friends and it was a way to kind of just relax into the evening, to kind of let go of any stress or anything like that, and I would just have a party, stay up late and everything. And then as I started to think more and more about like my health and where I kind of want to be, I actually realised that I'm drinking all this stuff, but I don't actually like the taste of it, so why am I doing it? And I was purely drinking to get drunk. Like, I would have a drink that I didn't particularly enjoy just because everyone else was getting drunk, and I sort of thought, well, I want to get drunk too. I wouldn't say I was massively like peer pressured into it. It was very much my own decision, but naturally you do the things that your group of friends are doing as well. So as I decided I kind of didn't like certain drinks, I then started to maybe explore drinks that I did like, and was really struggling to find them. I kind of then thought about healthier options, so I'd go for like a vodka, lime and soda water, but didn't even really like that. And again, it was still very much looking for a drink that I might like a little bit more, but just so I can get drunk. And now that I'm like the grand old age of 28, I can look back and think, okay, that was a bit silly, but ultimately, like, I was young. What was I going to do? That's just how we were, or how I was. And then I kind of stopped drinking as much. I, you know, met my partner. Funnily enough, both Rob and I don't actually drink at all now, yet we both met when we were pretty drunk on a night out. We obviously kind of got so drunk, we were like, oh, you're glorious and you're glorious, and then we met and then we were like, let's just not drink anymore. It didn't really happen like that. I still drank for quite a while, but I'd only drink at kind of occasions, and that's when it got hard. So going from drinking at every occasion to drinking only some occasions, that's when I found it really hard, because friends would kind of question it, sort of like, well, why aren't you drinking at my night out? But you drunk at her night out, or you drunk at that night out. So it did become a little bit hard. And I kind of did feel, that's when I did start to feel a bit more peer pressure and things like that, was when I had people kind of questioning why I would drink one time and wouldn't drink another time. So after going to a wedding last year and getting very drunk, and I'm talking like very drunk to the point that I was doing forward rolls in the bar, and apparently I don't remember this as well, and as much as I kind of laugh, it's actually not funny at all, because not being able to remember it isn't cool. But Rob told me that I tried to do a headstand, but I was too drunk, so I went for a simpler move, which was the forward roll, and roped his friends into doing it too. I cannot imagine what his friends whose wedding must have thought of me. They were like, so Rob's brought along this girl and she's making everyone do forward rolls at the bar. But you know, it was talk of the table at breakfast the day after. So after that, I had like an awful hangover, and I thought, you know what? I actually just hate this. Like I don't enjoy being kind of like the centre of attention in terms of people just kind of laughing at how ridiculous I was being. I don't enjoy having a hangover. I didn't really like the alcohol I was drinking. So really, like, what was the point? And literally at that moment, I decided to stop, and I haven't had a drink since. Since then, obviously, there's been a whole year, so I've had things like New Year's Eve, which hasn't really ever been a massive thing for me, unless I've been kind of away with friends. But in the UK, I've never been, you know, go to a massive kind of house party or things like that. So that wasn't too much of a test, as Rob and I went to Wales with my family, and it was all very granny-like and Scrabble-like. But then I had one of my best friend's weddings, who I was a bridesmaid for. And I thought, this is going to be the kind of big test. I'm bridesmaid at a friend's wedding. Am I going to be able to do it? And I didn't even think about it. I had sparkling elderflower for the toasts, so I kind of was still included in everything. And I danced the night away like a lunatic, loving life, on no alcohol. I remember all of it. It was an amazing experience. And yeah, I feel so much better for it. Just knowing that I don't have these kind of, I don't know, these toxins in my body. Also, another thing to remember is that for every person that drinks that glass of wine, I'm a little bit like, ha ha ha, I'll have pudding. You're having your extra calories in your wine and your extra sugar in your wine. I'll have a massive chocolate cake. But yeah, so like I say, like, this isn't about me saying don't drink. I think, like, drink responsibly, obviously. You know, think about things like, you know, memory loss and stuff like that. Like, it's dangerous. But find a drink that you like, and drink food because you want to, not because you feel like you should, or people maybe are telling you you should, or an atmosphere is making you feel like you should. Just do it because you want to, and if you don't want to, then don't. But yeah, that's kind of my experience with it, and I feel much healthier for it. I don't obviously have those hungover days where I sort of need to eat the world and its wife. I just have those days anyway. But no, I don't have those days where I wake up like craving fizzy drinks and burgers and what have you, because I haven't been drunk the night before, but I've still had an awesome time. So yes, that is it from me. It's just kind of a short and sweet chat about why I don't drink. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear about like your experiences as well. Like, are you kind of thinking about moving away from alcohol? Did you maybe not used to drink and now you kind of feel like you really need it for that kind of release after work? Because I know that a lot of people do. A lot of people really find like a kind of really calming effect, obviously. So yeah, I'd love to hear about your experiences and like how you kind of feel about it. So comment below and let me know. Sorry if I've kind of waffled on for a bit too long, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.